everyone, I'm Jess and I'm with KinderStampO, and today you're watching a live Hallmark class, and I'm going to be working on making some of these. I think they would make a really fun kind of dimensional card, but they would also be really fun party favors as well. They're kind of a take on those traditional paper cones, but I decided that rather than make it into a cone, I'd make it flat because that would make it a lot fun. And then you could just open it up and put something in here, whether it's some seam binding for your friends, or some buttons, or some trinkets, or some charms. I wanted to make it so it's kind of a really fun packaging for you to use, maybe for some random act of kindness. I know we like doing those kinds of things, so I thought this would be fun for that. So this is pretty much how it works. Again, it's kind of just your traditional, what is it called, cone favor, but again it's flattened out, and then it has this fold here, and then it has a whole bunch of really fun all paper embellishments on it, except for the little rhinestones and the buttons. And then I close it up with a little zap dot, and I'll show you how. Yeah, lottery tickets would be fun, a gift card. Yeah, you see, totally fun for all kinds of stuff. I was thinking you probably could make a card too in this shape and put it in there, so it's not your traditional shaped card. I thought that would be fun too. So yeah, really fun. I think what makes it fun about paper crafting is that you can always think out of the box and make all kinds of things, and every shape can turn into any kind of card. So this was fun that my daughter decided I should work on something that looked like this, and I actually like the way it came out. So I hope you guys like it too. So I wanted to keep this one simple, so I'm going to use some of my favorite products from Hallmark. I'm going to use the 450 quick dry adhesive because this works really awesome to glue things pretty quick, and because I wanted this to seal right away, I thought that would be the way to go. But of course you can always use the acid free as well, or the craft glue, but again the drying time is slightly different on those. I'm going to use some of my zap dots on these in different shapes and sizes. These are really good for when you have these little corners. This paper punch right here has a lot of lacing. It's kind of latticey, so the smaller ones work really good. And I actually use the zap dots to adhere the flowers, so I don't use glue at all. I just use the zap dot, and what I think is fun about that is that because it's a dimensional and it's not a very heavy adhesive, you can always take it off and use it for another project. So you can always repurpose the flower in a different project, which makes it a lot of fun too. And then I'm going to use the gemstone glue on the gemstones right here. I know that a lot of the gemstones come with adhesive already, but I know you guys have heard me cry before about this. In Texas, there's an enormous amount of humidity, so I always like to secure them, make sure that they're never going to fall off. So that's what I'm going to use on that. So those are them. Right here, these are all hand cut, and I'll show you how I did those. They're very basic shapes. And then I just added a fun sentiment. And on this one, I just wrote, "Hello Sunshine." And that's from the KinderStampO Through Sunshine and Rain set. It's just a really fun, uplifting kind of set. And I'm just going to pause for a second because I don't see the chat moving at all, and I know that's kind of odd. I just want to make sure that we're okay and everyone can still hear and see me okay. Let's see. Maybe I can refresh. Let's see if you guys can see that. Yeah. Okay, cool. So everyone is still there. And then these flowers right here are just some really fun flowers that I've been working on. I have these now in my store if you guys are interested in looking at them. They're just fun, and they're hand rolled, hand distressed. I use the Hallmark 450 quick dry to make all of them. So you know these are never going to fall apart on you. And they're just a lot of fun colors. Hey, Vanessa. I'm going to go really slow so that if you have any questions, you can ask. And I still owe you the cheat sheet on that other project. Don't think that I've forgotten. And then I'm going to just use a bunch of authentic papers. For this particular one, I use the 6x6. What's really fun about these little projects is that you only need anything that's in the shape of a square. So right, that just means that all of the sides need to be exactly the same size. So you can do a 1x1 or 2x2, 3x3. 6x6 is a really good size for these little favors or envelopes or gift card holders, whatever you guys wish to do. And because the paper stacks already come in 6x6, I love using this because I know a lot of times we buy paper stacks and we don't get use out of the whole pack. And there's a lot of multiples in these sets, so it's a really, really fun way to use them. And then I think I'm going to start off with the Authentique Freebird collection. These are really fun. I love them. It's not very, I think they're actually the only company out there who has 6x6 loose sheets, so you can go to your scrapbook store and pick these up individually. So that's fun. So I'm going to use those, and then we'll use some of the rest if we have a little bit more time. So I'm going to move this over to the side, and let's just go ahead and try to get started here. So there's not very much measurements in this class. We're kind of just winging it. And you guys know I like doing those kind of projects. Like I said, I kind of did this on my way home this afternoon. So pretty easy to do. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the piece of 6x6 paper. Most of the 6x6 papers come with a little trim on them. You can use your paper cutter to trim that off, or just use your scissors. Just for the sake of time and desk space, I'm just going to trim it off with my scissors. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight. Just try to make it as straight as you can. And again, right now I'm just prepping now. I'm going to cut off the border off of 4 of the sheets, and these are all just coordinated papers from the same collection. And let's see. And I kind of like them because they're not your traditional colors, just really bright mustards and blues and beiges. So and I'm probably not going to need all of these, but I'll try it anyway. Okay. So there goes that. You can't see the video? Hey, Tanya! Let me move this. I want to get a little bit better about having more desk space. Okay, I think that's a little bit better. So I'm going to kind of pick a base that's a little bit more of a solid. I think I'm going to work with this flower as the accent on it. So let's see. No, that's too much. No, that's too bright. You know what? Let's do the yellow. The yellow looks really fun. So this is, okay, here we go. Really simple. So this is gonna be my outside, and this is gonna be my inside. So your outside is obviously gonna lay flat on your desk, and all you're gonna do is you're gonna take your paper and fold it towards the middle, right? So the angle is pointing up, and then you're folding towards the center. And all you're really doing is making sure that wherever your line folds, it meets with this point right here. So you can use a bone folder for this. Of course, I don't have one near, but like I said, this is pretty much foolproof, so you can't really goof it up. So you see, I folded it towards the center, and now it's kind of lined up here. And keep in mind that you still want to have that angle there. So you're still going to have that really fun point there. You love the houndstooth? Yeah, isn't that pretty? I decided to do it with this on the outside because this will be the inside. I think it'd be a pretty nice accent in there. And then you're going to take the other side, and again, we're just going to fold it towards the inside. And this is where you kind of can get creative. You can fold it all the way to the very end so that you have a really nice clean line, or you can leave it a little bit more open like this, so it kind of overlays on itself. And then it's a little bit wider. So I'm going to choose to go that route with this one. And then again, just kind of creasing it out like that. And then now we're gonna I'm gonna swap it out because you guys know I'm left-handed, so I kind of work from right to left. It's kind of weird, but that's how my brain works. And it's easier for me to hold everything. So I'm just gonna take my 450 and I'm just gonna put a little bit. You don't need a lot. That's what's really fun about this project. Your adhesive goes a really long way. So you just put a little line along here and keep it about 1/8 of an inch away from the corner. The adhesive is pretty thick, so the closer to the corner you have, it's going to spread out. So you don't want it to kind of seep off the edge. So to be safe, depending on how thick you put it, maybe about 1/4 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch, either way is fine. So now we're just going to go like that, and then we're going to take this and fold it down. So now we're pretty much have this shape here. So how are we doing? Did we get that far? Do you guys have any questions on this? Again, it's pretty basic. It's just making sure that, again, you have that really nice cone shape on the bottom. And then wherever you laid it down, you're still able to fold this over so it has that nice little triangle on top. So I'm just going to wait for a sec because I know Vanessa had a commercial, so I'm sure others do too. Okay, so good. So now we have that, and you see now the pocket is already created, and this is already adhered, so you don't have to worry about that. The next thing we're going to do is, I just picked up this really fun punch. So we're going to use this, I don't even know what it's called. It's by EK Success. And sometimes I find that these punches are not very user-friendly, but don't quote me on that one. It's just my own quirky opinion today. So I'm going to take, I think, this one, because I want something a little bit darker, just as contrast on here. And I'm just going to put it in here. And I only need the center. I just want this one little shape to cut out. So I'm going to put it kind of towards the center like that, just so that I can get that one shape. So you see? You guys see? Let's see what that looks like. And I'm going to go ahead and trim that out. I think that's a really fun accent. So that's the reason why I picked up this punch. It's just really cute. And then again, I'm just going to trim it out. No perfect measurements, just have fun with it. So we're just going to cut these little borders off and kind of trim it on the edge so that it kind of follows it and it looks like it was actually meant to be that way. And I think that's going to go there. So you guys see it already. Looks really cool because it's really dark against the yellow, so it really pops. So I think that's fun. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut out the little tag and the little flag. So I think I'm going to, for the tag, I want to go a little bit lighter because that's where I'm going to be stamping. You're a punch junkie, Cindy. I know, I saw it today. I was at Joann's and I knew I had to pick it up. It was just really pretty. So we're going to go ahead and cut out the tag. And again, I'm just using black ink today, so I want to make sure they have a good background. And again, all I'm literally cutting out is a rectangle. And this might be like 1.5 by maybe 2.5. I'm guessing. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. Just so it looks like that. So again, just a little rectangle, and then you kind of just snip the little edges to give it that little faux tag look. And then I'm going to take one of my archival black pens, and I'm going to do a little bit of faux stitching on here, just because, again, I just want the tag to pop, even though it's just kind of stark white. It has a lot of kind of distressing on it and a little bit of mustard, which is pretty, but I like the way the black makes it show a little bit more. You can't connect to the channel? Oh no, I have no idea. That's really strange. So you're able to hear me but not see me? So just a little bit of stitching. And you can do this in white too. If you had used a darker paper, like if I had gone with the blue instead of the white, you could have used just a white Jelly Roll pen, and that would have worked really great too. Okay, so let me see. Maybe I can zoom in a little bit better just so you guys can see it a little bit more. Okay, I think that's a little bit better. Huh. That's weird. I'm sorry that you can't see. So here goes the tag. So far we have this that's going to go here, and that's going to go there. So you guys see that. And then I'm going to cut another piece of paper, and this one I wanted to have, you know what, let's do this, because this one's really pretty. It's, do I want it to be that bright? Maybe I should do the, alright guys, help me pick out. I want to do the little banner that hangs, and I'm going to put a couple of buttons on it. Which one do you guys think I should do? Should I do the flower? It's going to be tucked underneath here, so it's going to look like that. Or maybe this one? Or should I go with a solid color? Hey, Anya. I don't know. Maybe this one? Uh-oh, I lost the chat. Let me see, you guys would be... Show the first one. Okay, this one, the flower one, the blue one, this little kind of stripes. Need the flower one. Because, yeah, the yellow is too much, right? Because there would be no contrast in that. Alright, so let's do the flower one. So, I'm just gonna, again, just cut a little triangle out. Striped. I'll do the stripe next time, Vanessa. And then I'm just gonna, again, just cut at an angle just to form this little banner shape. So this is kind of gonna go like that. This will go here. That'll go there. And then we'll add a little bit of embellishment. So let me again do the stitching on this one. I don't think I really need it, but I'm gonna do it anyway just for consistency. I may actually even do it around the cone because I think that would make it look really cool. And I may not even put the buttons on this one. I may just put little rhinestones in each of the centers of the flowers just because I think the pattern is busy enough that it doesn't need so much embellishments. I don't know if you guys agree with me. So just a little black stitching just to add some depth to the paper. And just tie everything else in. And then maybe just add those little rhinestones. And I'll do them in different sizes, so I think that'll really pull it together. I'm addicted to stitching. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. I kind of put it on everything, and I try not to do it, but I do. It's a bad habit. So there goes that. And now I'm just gonna get that sentiment and stamp it. Let's see, where did I put the stamp set? Oh, here it goes. I'm gonna just do Hello Sunshine. I really like that sentiment. It's just kind of like a really fun, nice sentiment just to say hello to someone. Pretty generic. So I'm just gonna put it on my block. See what I did with my archival ink. Here goes my archival. Oh no, you have an ad coming? Okay, I'll pause for a second. And just ink my sentiment. And then I'm just going to put it kind of closer to the bottom. You don't have to do the whole stamping on the center or on the top. It's wherever you feel like. I want to add the little rhinestones up here, so I figured if I put in the center, it's going to look too much like perfect, and I don't want it to look perfect. I know, isn't that strange? I don't want it to look perfect. So there goes that. Just hello sunshine. And I love that this font has that distressing in the hello because it kind of ties in with the paper. And just because we have a little bit of time, and I'll do another one for sure, I'm going to go ahead and do the stitching on this. I'm being a little bit of a rebel today. I think this is probably one of my favorite papers. I don't know why I hadn't used it yet. So vibrant. So we're just going to stitch all the way to the bottom. It says in the left side of the screen, mine is a Bing ad. Huh. How do you know if an ad is coming? I think on the bottom it tells you ad coming in a few minutes, or do you want to start now? I think that's how it shows up. But I'm not, don't quote me on that one because I really haven't been watching very many shows lately. Just because of lack of time. I need to get back on the bandwagon and start watching more shows. I feel like I'm really missing out. So there goes stitching on that, and then let's see. I'll do this one too, the little border. So just a little bit of stitching. I probably would have done white on this maybe, but I've noticed that the Jelly Roll pens don't really pop that well in these kinds of colors. So, and then let's just finish it off. Oh, I got a commercial too. Hey, Christina. Isn't Vanessa awesome? She's so good about sharing. Okay, so this one is really dark, and I know I'll put it on here, and I don't know why I feel that it's just a little too blah for me, so I'm going to take my white Jelly Roll pen, and I'm going to add just some stitching on here. I know. Obsessive compulsive about stitching. So just really quick, add a little bit of stitching around the border. And you can go totally crazy and do every little petal on this punch, or you can just do the outside border. Because we have a little bit of time, I'm going to do a little bit more detailing on it. But again, this is one of those projects that you can absolutely make multiples of. I mean, if you have one of those paper stacks that has like 36 in it, how easy and quick would it be to make, oh my goodness, 36 of them? So really reasonable to make. Of course, depending on how many embellishments you choose to put on it. So you can make it really simple or over embellish it. Either way, I'm sure it'll look absolutely beautiful. I'm thinking if you just put like a little circle punch here with a scallop around it and monogrammed it, it would be really fun. Hey, Nikki! So again, possibilities are endless. I was going to do it with the monogramming earlier because I thought that that would be easier. But of course, I can't find my... Oh my god, cut the lines, that stinks. Cut my line. Oh no! I missed you too, Christina. Are you going to CHA this year? I'm not going, so please don't tell me you're going. I'll be totally bummed. So now let's work on this little um, banner right here. I decided I think I'm going to go ahead and do the rhinestones. What I'll do is I have these right here, and these are really fun. They're just some rhinestones I picked up at my local craft store. And what I'll do is I usually put them down just like that, but a lot of times the glue is not really awesome because in Texas everything comes off. So I use my gemstone glue, and it's really important that you have a specific glue that you use with your rhinestones, because a lot of these glues, because they're flammable, they have some kind of I don't know what it is, some kind of ingredient in it that kind of it oxidizes the metal in the back, so it takes the shininess off of your rhinestones, and the gemstone glue doesn't do that. So that's why it's important to use your gemstone glue. So when in doubt, any rhinestone or anything that has any kind of metal finish or metal backing, use your gemstone glue. Okay, so I'm just gonna put little dots of adhesive in random places, and you don't have to really worry too much because it takes a little bit of time to dry. So I like to kind of lay my dots first, and then I go on and I add my rhinestones. It kind of gives it a little bit of drying time, makes it a little bit tackier, I think. But again, it's up to you how you choose to use it. So let's see. Okay. So now I'm just going to take these and just cut a little strip off of it. Just randomly place them on here. And I'm kind of following the design of the flowers. So if it has a larger center, I'm putting the larger center, the larger rhinestone. And if it has a smaller center, I'm using the smaller rhinestone. So no rhyme or reason to this. Just kind of following the design of the graphic artist that worked on this. So and I'll put this one right here. Okay. And I'll raise it up so you guys can see it. So you guys can see that there's those rhinestones there. And I'm going to add the smaller ones now too, just so that it all ties in. So how many of you have kids home from school already? Oh my goodness. I'm thinking almost everybody, right? Except for, I think, is the East Coast the only place that doesn't have kids home yet? I'm not sure. It's like ever since I moved to Texas, I don't know. I no longer know what the schedules are like. Oh my goodness, since May 17th, Tanya, that's a long time. Does that mean they're going back to school next week? Wow, that's a long time. Imagine if you homeschooled them. You wish? That's too funny. Yeah, it's funny how the school schedules are so different around the states. No way. No homeschooling. I think if you're able to homeschool your kids, that's absolutely awesome. But if you don't think you have the patience to do it, then I think it's awesome that you send them to school. Hey, it's perfect for those that can and not for those that can't. Okay, so let me see. Just one more, I think. You cannot homeschool them? Yeah, my kids are pretty good kids too. But like I said, I I think my son needs like that social interaction. I would never be able to keep him busy all day long, unfortunately. All right, so I'm done with that. Let's see. Okay. Let me see. I'll see if I can zoom a little bit more. Okay, good. I think that works out pretty good. So okay, so what I did for the closure on the previous one, you can do one of two things. You can put a piece of Velcro or something. What I've noticed is that the zap dots, if you wanted to kind of take away the tackiness of it, I kind of just play with them in between my fingers and kind of just let I guess the natural oils of my fingers. I know that sounds probably really gross, but to come out, you can probably use a little bit of baby powder as well if you're kind of a little phobic about those things. But if you let the natural oils of your fingers kind of take the tackiness away, it works as a really awesome closure and doesn't ruin your paper. So I kind of have tested it and it works. So I only do that on one side. The side that's going to actually adhere to the inside, I don't do that to. So I want to make sure that side stays nice and tacky. But just the side that's going to be used to open and close, that's the one where you want to make it less tacky. So I'm just going to put a little zap dot right here. Nothing really big, just a little tiny one. And then I'm going to press it down. So now you see it'll open and close. Oh, this is what we're working on, Christina. It's like a little cone-shaped favor. It could be a card, or like some folks said, maybe a gift card holder. Just something I came up with today. Just really fun. It's kind of like one of those paper cone favors, but instead this one you can close, and I kind of over-junked it up just for fun. So that's how that works. Thanks, Lori. So there goes that. So now that I've gone ahead and closed it down, it makes it easier for me to add the embellishments on top. So to start off, I'm going to go ahead and put this here on an angle because this is going to be laying flat on the closure. I want to make sure that this adheres pretty well on the flap. So I'm going to use my 450 adhesive. This is going to be my base. So you want to make sure that when folks decide to open it and they decide to grab this, this is not going to pop off. So 450 works really, really great for that. So I'm just going to kind of put it on an angle right here, like that. And let's see. Just make sure I didn't over glue and then I end up closing it. No, that's perfect. Okay, so, and I'm going to let it overhang. Maybe even pull it a little bit more down. Okay, so I'm going to put it like that. And then I'm going to take the Hello Sunshine tag, and it's kind of going to overlap like this. And this one I'm going to put on dimensions because I want it to pop up. So we're just going to kind of do it on the border. You don't need to put too many on it. And I'm using the smaller ones because I think these work really great for this. So this is going to go right here, like that, on an angle. Again, this is just how I want to do it, but again, it's totally up to your imagination, what you want to add to it or what you don't want to add to it. It's just a fun, quick project. And again, you can keep it as simple as just doing the little shaped cone and just adhering it and putting something in it, maybe adding a little bow or something, or maybe just putting a little flower on it. How cute is that without anything else, right? But then if you want and get really super creative and you just have a little bit more time in your hand, absolutely add more stuff. And that's what we're doing right now. We're just over junking it up. So I'm going to put this right there. And just make sure that your zap dots are in a place where it's not going to show through the back. So I'm just removing that one because it was. And now you see the paper, but you don't see the zap dots. So that's great. And I kind of just press them down, make sure that they're nicely secured. Okay, so there goes that. And then here goes this little border. We're just going to put it right here. And then our flower, right? So I'm going to put it there. I'm going to see all of this space that hasn't been cut out. That's when I'm going to put my zap dots. So you'll know that it'll secure really nicely, even though the lace is going to be hanging off the side. So again, just putting it there, and if it has any kind of overhang, you can just trim it off like that. I know I got another ad again. I hope you guys can still see me. Hey, Lisa. Oh no, sorry about that. Yeah, it seems like some of you are having problems with the chat tonight. That's really weird. So I'm just gonna put it here, and again, I'm having this over the tag, and then I'm putting the dimensions on the base. So, and let's just try to open it up, and again, make sure that the zap dot's on it, but when you open it up, you're not gonna see it. So, okay. So there goes that. Oops. And then I'm going to put this big old junked up flower right there. So I'm going to use big zap dot. This is my favorite way to actually put flowers. Because again, if you decide you want to take them off and you want to reuse it on another project, totally cool. So I'm going to put it here. Just make sure that where I put it, it lies on the paper and it doesn't hang off. Okay. And I just went ahead and flattened the center. I know, crazy I am, but you can fix it. Remember, it's paper and it bends again, and all you gotta do is just manipulate the petals. You're not ruining it. Just crunch it up again. And that's pretty much it. So you see, it opens up, and this is just like a fun little embellishment on here. Cute little pocket to put something in here, a special little prize. I think it'd be fun to buy a little charm necklace with an initial and just put it in there and then close it up and give that to someone, like a little girl. Did you have a video on how to make the flowers? I don't think I've made these flowers before. I do have videos on making flowers. I'll put the links on my page if you're. I've been meaning to put links on my page, but I'm working on doing that soon, so I'll definitely have them up. But here goes the punch. It's by EK Success, I think. And I'm not sure what it's called, but it's just really pretty. I picked it up at Joann's if you guys are looking for it. Yeah, and it's a super big punch. And it's one of those that kind of closes like this. It's just pretty. So this is pretty much my project. So there goes the one we just made, and then here goes the second one. And I can start another one if you guys want me to start it and see if maybe I can get by this one a little quicker than I did the other ones. Kind of surprised myself. I think they have a 50% off coupon this week, and that's why I picked it up. So do you guys have any questions? Did you want me to go ahead and start another one for those of you who came in late? You don't have a Joann's? Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, you could definitely get it online. Yeah, isn't it fun? It's just a little accent. I thought it was fun. You can absolutely make gorgeous borders for scrapbooks and mini albums. But it works well. Thank you so much for joining, Raven. Christina. Isn't it funny? Ever since they changed the Ustream, you can't really follow. It's too funny. Yeah, that's exactly what I like about it. It kind of pops. It adds that little extra dimension to it. Just super sweet. So this was super, super easy to make, right? You're welcome, Lisa. Thank you so much for joining. So now since you guys said that it's super easy to make, I want to see how many of you actually make it this week. Because I know Vanessa's really good about always making them and sharing them. So I want to see more of you guys making them. It is easy, Nikki. Make another one, Vanessa. Okay, I'll make another one really quick. And let's see how fast we can make this. The biggest challenge is going to be trying to figure out which paper I want to use. Okay, here goes some scraps that I had. Okay, now I feel nervous because I have too much pressure. Too much pressure. Let's see. I think I'm going to do this green one. I don't know why. I have a white flower, so white will definitely work. So let's do this green set right here. So let me move these to the side and let's make another one. I think I'm going to do this really bright green. I don't know why. I kind of like it. A little bit more masculine. It's really fun. And then, okay, so again, just put the paper up like in a diamond shape, right? And then we're going to kind of fold to the center so that this point right here is at an angle again. And just fold. And then we're going to do the same thing to the other side. And this one, just want it to meet there. And then you kind of just move it until you kind of see that it's triangular and it's not, let's see. It's pretty even on the left and on the right side. Okay. So now I'm just going to score it with my handy dandy finger. And now I'm just going to add a little bit of 450 again on the inside here. And this will do a really secure seal. Again, just kind of sealing it with my finger, and then we're just going to take this on top and fold it down so that it's triangle. So now we have our little pocket and our little fold. Yeah, the papers are all 6 by 6. Any square shape is perfect. So you can make them as little as 1 by 1s or as big as 12 by 12s. Completely up to you, Lori. So there goes that. And then now we're going to, I think this will be the little banner. That'll be the tag. I'll use this for the little, what do you call that? The little scallop shape. Okay, so let's cut. Again, just cutting a little rectangle. And this is going to be my banner. And that'll go there. And then I'm going to cut another little rectangle. And this will be my tag. So it'll go like that. And like that. And let's see. Then I'm going to use this piece of paper here that's completely, you know what? I think I'm going to use this side. It looks a little, nah, I think we need some contrast. So that may be too much contrast, huh? Okay, let's do that one. And we're going to cut one little shape out of here. And this will be our little decorative accent. So we're just trimming. Have you guys heard about that show, Craft Wars? I feel right now like if I was on the show, I feel like I'm on Craft Wars. Like I feel I'm under a time crunch to get this done under a certain time frame. So now I'm just gonna do a little full stitching on this one just to make this one pop. You can't wait to see it. You know, it's so funny for like, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, but I'm just throwing it out there for like, gosh, who knows? As long as I've been seeing reality TV shows, I've been telling my husband, I'm like, oh my goodness, I wish I had a show like Craft Wars, and I always use that exact same name. I was like, I know exactly who I would invite and who I would, you know, I'd do like, you know, a contest and invite random people to come on. It'd just be really, really fun, and we'd do it online. And then when I was at CHA and they announced that Tori Spelling was going to be doing it, I was like, oh, you see what happens when you don't speak out loud? You don't want to craft with the Kardashians? Yeah, no, absolutely no celebrities unless they're like crafters. They absolutely have to be certified crafters. Totally obsessed like us. That's the one qualification. That's too funny. So let's see. So this one's going to go here. Paris Hilton. No, no Paris Hilton either. Although you guys do know that she had a paper collection at one time. Very strange. Oops, almost forgot to stamp my sentiment. And what did I do with my ink pad? Runaway ink pad. Did you buy it? That's funny. I think it was cute too. Wasn't it like princessy or something? Didn't have chihuahuas on it. So I'm just stamping it down here. It did. You can, Vanessa. All you need to do is grab any piece of paper and cut it into 6 by 6. So take a piece of what do you call it? 12 by 12 paper, fold it in half, and then fold it in half again, and then just cut along the lines, and then you'll have real quick 6 by 6 pieces of paper. So now I'm just gonna take some of these, just put them along this little border right here. Oh my goodness, you still have it? That's hysterical. I'm going to be watching your post to see it. It's funny because one of the things that I've been trying to do lately is I'm trying to challenge myself not to make a card in a traditional shape. And I know it's hard sometimes, but I'm thinking this is a fun non-traditional shape for a card. I'm thinking. Then here goes this cute little piece. Just add a little bit of the zap dots on the bottom. And this one I went a little, I didn't cut it, I didn't leave that much of a border on it, so I only put in the center, so I'm just going to cut one of the mini zap dots in half and put one there and even cut it into a quarter. Okay, and pull these off. And pull this one off. Like that. Now we're just going to lay this one here. And then we'll put our cute little flower right there with, I'm thinking of black zap dot. Just because the paper's so dark, I don't want the zap dot to show in the back. And then take another one of these, and again, just play with it a little bit just to take the tackiness off of it. Remember, that side is the one you're going to put to adhere, right? And then now you're going to remove the little piece off of that and use that really sticky back one to place it on the inside, and then you're going to use that as your closure. So now you can easily open it and close it and not worry about it pulling on your papers. So now we have a green one and yellow one and a pink one. Now that was super duper fast, wasn't it? And I didn't add any rhinestones to this one, but I think I'm going to add some. Let me see what I do with them. I think I'm going to put some here and put a little bit there. So again, I'm just going to use my gemstone adhesive and just put a little bit of adhesive there and a little bit of adhesive there. And then I'm just going to cut a little strip of 3s. So 2 strips of 3s. I like doing things in not even numbers. And then this one is going to go right here. And then this one will go right here. I do like to mass produce. I know, I do. I swear I could, swearing's not good, right? But I could literally sit here and make these for hours. But that's like the fun thing about having pre-made embellishments, that you can easily make them. Like, I mean, I have a bunch of these just lying on my desk right now, so it's really easy for me to add that really nice decorative accent to the project. But if I had to sit and actually make the flowers, it probably would take a little bit of the mass producing fun out of it. So I like to make a lot of the flowers and then come up with like little fun projects to use the flowers for. And this is actually one of those fun projects that you can use to just add that really simple embellishment on there and just make it really fun. Do I have a tutorial for the flowers? I have a tutorial for a similar flower on my YouTube class for sure. And I actually think I've made one of these flowers before on a previous Hallmark class. So do you guys have any questions for me? Your top is wonky. What are you doing wrong? Your top is wonky. I think you have to make, maybe, let's see. I'm going to get a piece of paper and we'll kind of play with it and see if I can help you through it remotely. So here goes this, right? So you see how these are the, let me zoom out a little bit. How do I zoom out? Okay, zoom out. Okay, so you see it's here? So you have the 4 angles, right? So I kind of grab this one and I'm just there's no, again, there's no real perfect measurement, but you're kind of folding it so that, I think maybe if you start from the bottom, it works better. Just fold it over on itself. Let me see. So that you still have that angle right there. And then just close it off. So you're folding it into itself so that you still have that point there. So if it's easier for you to start folding from the bottom so that you always maintain that, you always want to have that kind of angle on there. If you don't have an angle, then it's probably, the paper's a little bit off. And I think this one I'm going to do the reverse way, just because I have a yellow one already. And then you're going to take this one and you're going to fold it over. But this is where you kind of play with it, right? Because you want to make sure that the top is going to look like a triangle, right? So these two angles right here are going to be the same size, and then this one is a perfect right angle. So if you were to put it on its side like this, I feel like I'm giving a math class, but this is the way that makes sense in my brain. So you have a perfect right angle here, and then you kind of have, I don't even know what this probably is. You get like a 45-degree angle here, right? And then you fold it down again, and then it'll make it easy for you to just fold your flap. Because again, you just have that 90-degree, and then these two are the same size. So I think these are acute angles, and then these are, this is just a right angle. Does that make sense? I'm sure if I had a scoring tool, I'd be able to actually make the measurements, but I know, look at my fingers, they're terrible. Oh my goodness. I was waiting to see who was the one that was going to call me out on them. Thanks, Christina. I know, they're terrible. Because between graduation, you have no idea how much baking and cooking and lollipop making and craft making I was going through. Oh my gosh, it's been crazy. And then between making all of the flowers, and then one of my friends is getting married, and I literally made, I can't even tell you, about 200 of these. So that was kind of what inspired me to put them on my site, because I had already started making them. So I had some left over, and I said, let me throw them on the site, and let me make some more just for me to play with. So, but the nails, I don't think they're ever coming back, Christina. I've given up on them. It's terrible. True crafters never have beautiful nails. But you know what? That's so sad. So I guess in the past I must not have been a true crafter, because when I first started doing videos and stuff, my nails were always long. Isn't that weird? I was like obsessively having long nails, and now they're terrible. And the sad thing is that the last time I had the show was probably 2 weeks ago, but that was literally on the cusp of everything that was going on with graduation. So I actually had nice nails. And then, of course, one chipped and one broke, and then we had to do some gardening, and that's what they turned out to be. Oh my goodness. Yours are short and ink stained. Mines are so ink stained that I can't even get them out of like in between my nails. It's terrible. My skin is like all inked. It's horrible. It's not good. Yours have gotten dirt in them. Paint in every little crack. That's perfect. That's exactly what they should look like. Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording just for the sake of those that watch this after. I don't want them to hear all of the babbling from me. But I'll stay on for a little bit, and if you guys have some questions, definitely I'll stick around for that. So let me go ahead and stop this and figure out what I'm going to call this. Let's see. So stop recording.